Good morning, everybody. This is it. The final episode of the final build of the Forgotten Magic series. Been quite a journey, and I would like to thank all of you for joining me for this adventure. Forgotten Magic is a lot more powerful than I ever realized. I've only used it, the odd spell from it here and there throughout various builds. This is the first time I've explored it extensively, tried all the spells, most of the upgrades, and it's pretty damn good. Holds up really, really well after, I think, 4 or 5 years since it was ported over from Legendary. So, yeah, it's been great. And this guy, I still think he looks awesome. And I did end up using the mask because I enchanted it, because I felt that this build is probably going to get its butt handed to it by Karstag, so I have enchanted it with all kinds of craziness to try to make it strong, really strong. In fact, it's so strong that the enchantments are only possible thanks to honed metal. I don't think you could... Well, you could do this yourself if you have the... you don't use the unofficial patch, or you use the mod for that reverts back the Fortify Restoration glitch, because then, of course, you can just make insanely overpowered stuff by looping alchemy and enchanting, but that's a whole nother video. So we're going to just deal with what we could get from honed metals. First of all, let's take a look at our axe. So it's smithed up to legendary, does 124 points of damage, and I decided to choose Sonic Vibrations, which deals magic damage equal to 14% of the target's health. Now it only can, I think it can only use this a few times because the enchantment is so expensive. But if it works, we could probably rip Karstag's health down to a level where Void Bolt will be able to finish him. And we might be able to do that in a matter of seconds. If he is immune to the magic damage, which he shouldn't be, but if he is immune to this magic damage, then this axe will be mostly useless. I mean, it will do some physical damage, but that's it. For the necklace, we've got Amplify Restoration spells, making Restoration 54% stronger, and also increasing our maximum magicka by 137 points. I swapped out the Ring of Numira for an enchanted ring that makes destruction spells 42% stronger, and increases health by 1/4 of magicka and magicka by 1/4 of health. So we have lots of health and magicka, which we'll take a look at in a second. The armor has Fortify Magicka Regen 105%, and also has a 3% chance of restoring health, magic, and stamina to the tune of 158 points. Storm Fist Boots Legendary grants 79% resistance to frost, 3% chance to restore health, magic, and stamina for the same amount as the armor. And the gauntlets give us maximum magicka, fortified magicka, maximum magicka by 105 points, and one-handed attacks by 68%. And finally, the mask grants 102% resistance to frost, and having 150% or more resistance to an element grants immunity. So Karstag should not be able to do any damage to us with frost. We've got some health and magicka potions. Not a whole lot, but I'm just going to have all of those ready to go. I've given some to Eola as well, so we'll see how that goes. And I think that's it for that. Perks. Oh, first of all, let me go over the upgrades that I took to the Warlock spells. So, Blight Curse, I got Safe and Vitality, so it drains health back to us. I believe it does anyway. It's a little bit unclear, and it's such a small amount now because my health is so huge that it wouldn't make much difference, but maybe. Desecrate, whenever you cast a Blight Curse, it inflicts the target with desecration, causing disease damage over 15 seconds. Throw, whenever you cast Blight Curse at a target with less than 25% health, it paralyzes them. Mark of the Death. Chance to stagger the target on each tick. Soul Reaper. If the target dies under the effect of Blight Curse, it increases the caster's spell damage by 10% for 10 minutes and stacks up to 3 times. That has been really, really nice. Void Bolt has Master of the Dead. Instantly kills undead targets, which Karstag is, with less than 50% health. So if we can get his health down, we should be able to finish him off in 1 hit of Void Bolt. Death's Dominion banishes the target to death planes. Enemy targets take 10 damage per second. Friendly undead targets restore 20 health per second. Lasts 5 seconds. So that's kind of nice. You can actually use that as this is a healing spell for your Death Guard. Death Nova. If the target is afflicted by Blight Curse, Void Bolt triggers Bond of Corruption with an effect with a 10-second cooldown. That is this, which causes Blight Curse to spread to other enemies. Now that's probably not going to be all that useful in this fight, but in other fights it would be. Howling Death. Void Bolt has a chance to fear the target for 6 seconds. And Obliterate. Void Bolt deals 2 times more damage to the target that is at or above 80% health. Necrosis. We've got Bane. Deals additional damage equal to 3% of your total magicka per tick, which is a lot, because my magicka is quite high. Swift Necrosis decreases the interval between each tick by 1 second. Siphon Life drains health from the target and transfers it to the caster on each tick. Contagion. If you cast Necrosis at the target infected with Blight Curse, it decreases the target's disease resistance by 33% for 10 seconds. And Devouring Shadows. If you cast Necrosis at a target infected with Blight Curse, it instantly deals 33 to 45 damage to the target and restores basically half of that to the caster. Death Guard. We've got Grim Fortitude, which increases his or hers health. We got Wrath of the Dead, which increases their weapon damage. Metamorphosis, which increases their magic resistance by 1% of my level, which is, I think I'm at 48, so that should be 48% magic resistance. Death. Dark Growth. When injured, your Death Guard constantly drains stamina from you, healing it. That's fine. And Boethia's Embrace gives the Death Guard a Poison Cloak spell, which probably will be completely useless in this fight. Deathly Pall. We've got Curse of Frailty. Your Blight Curse and Necrosis also apply Curse of Frailty to the target. Every second, Curse of Frailty deals disease damage equal to 10% of the target's armor rating, up to 50 damage per second. Essence of the Void increases the base damage of your Void Bolt to 21% of your current health. Puppet Master. Your undead summons cost nothing and last 100% longer. Deathly Barrage. Whenever you cast a Warlock spell, there's a chance to hurl up to 3 explosive bolts of dark energy at the target. And Grief. Each tick of your Necrosis has a chance to dispel itself. When it is triggered, the target instantly takes 200 disease damage. If the target dies, it restores your health, magic, and stamina to maximum. And finally, Nether Rift. Discord. If decreases the target's disease resistance by 10% for 10 seconds after each teleportation, and it stacks. Marrow Suffering causes 30 to 45 disease damage to stamina and magicka every time the target is teleported. Soul Drain, if the target is inflicted with Blight, Curse, Desecration, or Necrosis, deals 21 disease damage for each effect. For each effect and each teleportation. Curse of Oblivion, if the target has been teleported 3 times in a row, it paralyzes the target for 5 seconds. And Seeping Death infects the target with Blight Curse on each teleportation. If the target's already infected or affected by the spell, it applies Necrosis instead. That is quite devastating, as we've seen in previous episodes. Okay. As I said, level 48, and we have 928 magicka, 746 health, and 146 stamina, because I have rock joint, which apparently Namira doesn't even recognize. I don't know, that's a little bit glitched. For Conjuration, we got basically everything in the undead section. Unfortunately, Plane Meld and Atromancy did not work. I thought that this would because we were summoning it, but it doesn't have that tag apparently, and we only have the benefits from these, but it does work. So we have they last longer with preservation, gets health and magicka. In fact, he basically is not going down. Like, he can fight toe-to-toe against some pretty big enemies and not go down. If they're destroyed, then I thought this was very appropriate for this build. If the undead is destroyed within 20 seconds, the attacker is stricken with a Daedric disease. Corpse Gas and Necromaster are just to get 2 March of Oblivion so we can have more of our lovely gems. Destruction, I just got Mastery to reduce the cost of Void Bolt in particular. Restoration, we've got Mastery 2 out of 2, Descending Light, and Hallowed Burial 2 out of 2 to increase the potency of our restoration spells and reduce cost, of course, and Descending Light helps us regen magicka. Edge Walker increases restoration spells effect when we are below half health. Necromanticon gives us some disease spells. Chalice of Tears makes it that our restoration spells are stronger and last longer. Now, this does recognize the diseases I have, because it has definitely increased the strength and duration of restoration. So I don't know what Namira's or Perriate's problem is. And Plague Doctor, radiate a zone of pestilent death that reduces the poison and disease resistance of enemies approaching within 40 feet by 50% for 30 seconds. Hopefully that will help against Karstag a little bit. Alteration, we got Mastery and Dual Casting, Wild Shrines, and 2 points in Intuitive Magic, which reduces the cost of some of our spells. Also got everything in Spellblade, which increases our attack damage and spell damage, and reduces enemies' armor and magic resistance. And also got everything in Alter Self. Got resistances. I think I went with Fire and Shock, if I remember right. I put attributes into Health, and we got Nullifier to prevent enemies from regenerating magic and stamina. Not that we're probably going to want to stand that close to Karstag, but whatever. Heavy armor, we got Mastery 2 out of 2, Battle Weary, and Born to Fight, which basically makes the armor lighter, and we take less damage. Same thing with Heavy Armor Fit, increases our total armor rating. Face of Death, because I wasn't wearing a mask. Oh, actually, I'm not wearing a heavy... I'm wearing a mask which has no weight, or not no weight, but no armor rating, so this still applies even though I have something on my head. Otherwise, it was particularly effective for not having to wear a helmet. Defiance. Whenever an enemy attacks you, it grants you 15 points of armor rating. Revel in Battle also applies the same thing to our melee damage. Bedrock reduces... we have a chance to become immune to stagger. Never Kneel reduces damage from power attacks. Out of the Inferno was the thing I was most interested in along here, just basically increasing our resistance to all the elements, and immortal. If wearing all heavy armor, takes 75% less damage from attacks below 15%, if we get really beaten down. And one-handed, I basically just picked up a couple of the perks in... Oh, I can actually grab that too. A couple of the perks in War Axes, Disciplined Fighter, and Furious Strength to increase our damage. And that, I believe, is it. Okay, let's save. And let's do this. Oh, am I going to use an enchantment slot hitting that? Can I hit it with something else? But I don't have anything else. Oh? Oh no. There we go. Did that use up anything? No, good. It didn't. Alright, girl, you ready? We are going to deal with some issues when we step through here. Now, I'm not going to attack these guys, because that would be a huge waste. Not going to attack... Oh, he's got over 1,000 health. I'm not going to attack them with my axe, because it doesn't have a lot of... Oh, good grief. It really doesn't have a whole lot of charges. Do that. And a necrosis them. And you're done. Wow, he's got so much health. Oh, I just remembered too. We got Carrion Cloud. Non-mechanical targets in the path of the whirlwind take disease damage. I'll have that as well. Die already. There we go. There we go. Dead. Okay, I think we're going to want to start with Nether Rift on Karstag so that as he moves, he gets teleported away. Move back, guys. Move back. I hit him? Yes, guys, over here. Okay, so that is not draining his health very much. He is immune to necrosis, because of course he is. He's immune to Blight Curse, because of course he is. If I have more than one, I should be able to have at least 3. Okay, I can have 3. There you go. Get in there. You're not doing any damage to him, guys. Oh, he is also immune to Nether Rift. I didn't notice that on the first hit. Okay, can you take Putrefy at least? That's doing nothing to his health regen. Oh my god, this guy! Okay, she's already down. How about Void Bolt? Oh, that did some damage. Oh, that took him down. And yes! Okay, well there you go. Holy crap. Most of those spells were completely useless. It was just like the fight with Orchendor. Same thing. Basically the same thing. He was immune to everything except for Void Bolt. And this axe. Why is my stamina getting drained? don't know, but whatever. This axe, if it wasn't for this axe, I would not have been able, well, maybe if I cast Void Bolt against him enough times, maybe. But man, this axe enchantment is fantastic. Sonic vibrations deal magic damage equal to, well, in this case, it's 15% now, of the target's current health. I guess that fluctuates based on something. Yeah. Okay. We have 1 out of 7 builds. 4 wins to 3 losses. It was so close. This was the oh, there's my stamina coming back, and there's my stamina going down. Oh, it's you guys healing, isn't it? Yeah, that's what's happening. You guys healing off of me. Anyway, yeah, this was the deciding factor of who is the baddest ass in all of Skyrim, and apparently it is Forgotten Magic Redone, not Karstag. Well, thank you one and all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this build. I hope you enjoyed all of the builds. If you missed any of them, please head back and check out all of the Forgotten Magic builds. It's been a real pleasure playing with this mod. And we are going to, of course, move on to new builds. The next few builds are not going to be part of a series. They're just a bunch of ideas that I have had kicking around for quite some time. So we'll move on to that in the next week or so. Thank you. Otherwise, if you haven't, please hit the like button. Go back to the first video of each of the builds and hit that like button too, because those are the videos that get promoted the most by YouTube, and it's the most likely that other people will be able to find those videos and enjoy this series as well. So thank you very much, everybody. I'll also mention that if you haven't had a chance, please drop by our Discord and join up. It's in the description, a link to it. Permanent invitation is available there, and you will be most welcome to join us. We discuss modding, we discuss character builds, and we also, of course, have food and pet channels, which are always a lot of fun and always popular. So, guys, we will see you in the next video.